The soundtracks for the first three Castlevania games on the Nintendo Entertainment System are iconic examples of 8-bit music that established the series' gothic and rock-inspired tone. Castlevania 1986, composed by Kin Yuyo Yamashita and Satoe Terashima, the music for the first Castlevania is notable for its use of fast tempos and rock-based rhythms. The main theme, Vampire Killer, is a classic that has been remixed and reimagined in almost every subsequent game in the series. The tracks are known for their driving percussion, syncopated melodies, and a sense of frantic energy that perfectly matches the game's challenging platforming. While Vampire Killer is the most famous track from the original Castlevania from 1986, the soundtrack, the album is actually full of other memorable tunes that have become staples of the series. And so a few of the other classics are, one of them is Wicked Child. This is a fast-paced and more frantic track, and it plays during Stage 3 in the underground caverns. It has a driving, almost panicked rhythm that perfectly matches the game's difficult platforming and the constant barrage of enemies. It's a fan favorite that has appeared in many later games. Stalker is another one used in the first two parts of Stage 2. Stalker has a more somber and mysterious tone. It's a short but very effective track that creates a sense of unease and dread, fitting for a dark castle setting. Walking on the Edge is a tense, suspenseful track that plays in the castle's upper levels. It's a slower, more deliberate melody with a repetitive driving bass line that builds tension and adds to the feeling of being really in a perilous location. The Heart of Fire, one of the most intense tracks in the game, Heart of Fire, plays in the final castle stages. It's a powerful dramatic piece that signals the player is nearing the final confrontation with Dracula, and its driving beat pushes the player forward. So these tracks, along with others on the soundtrack, are praised for their masterful composition within the limited hardware of the NES. The composers Kinuyo Yamashita and Satoe Terashima were able to create a memorable and atmospheric score that set the tone for the entire Castlevania series. Many of these tunes have been rearranged and featured in modern Castlevania games, a testament to their enduring quality. So now I want to talk about Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, which was from 1987. So for Castlevania 2, Kenichi Matsubara took over as the main composer. The music here shifts to a more atmospheric and often haunting style to reflect the game's open world, RPG-like structure. The soundtrack is famous for Bloody Tears, a fan favorite that has also become a series staple. The music also includes more somber and melancholy tracks such as the town theme, The Silence of Daylight, which added to the game's sense of mystery and desolation. So beyond Bloody Tears and The Silence of Daylight, the Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest soundtrack actually contains other tracks that are highly regarded for their unique atmosphere and mood, which set the game apart from its predecessors. Monster Dance is the theme that plays during nighttime in the game's overworld. It's a frantic and spooky tune that perfectly captures the sense of panic and danger. The transition from the calm silence of daylight to this eerie, high-energy track is a famous and defining moment of the game. Dwelling of Doom. Dwelling of Doom is the theme for the game's various mansions. It's an unsettling and slightly dissonant piece with a driving beat, creating a sense of dread and suspense as you explore the dangerous monster-filled houses. The track has a distinct evil-sounding melody that is instantly recognizable to fans. Within these castle walls is a theme for Dracula's castle itself, and this track is appropriately majestic and foreboding. It's a regal, almost classical-sounding piece with a deep, dramatic bass line that signals the final, climactic showdown with the ultimate evil. And lastly, for Castlevania 2, I think I'm going to mention a Requiem, which is a short, somber piece, plays during the game's ending sequence. It's a melancholy and mournful track that plays and provides a powerful sense of closure and relief. Especially given the game's infamous difficulty, it is a fitting end to Simon's journey and a beautiful example of the game's shift towards a more atmospheric and narrative-driven soundtrack. Now, lastly, I want to mention Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, which came out in 1989. The soundtrack for Castlevania 3 is widely considered one of the best on the NES, pushing the console's sound chip to its technical limits. Composed by Hidenori Maezawa, Jun Funahashi, and Yuki Morimoto, the Japanese version of the game used a special chip, Konami's VRC6, on the cartridge that allowed for 3 additional sound channels, resulting in a much richer and more complex soundscape, 2 pulse wave channels, and a sawtooth. The track Beginning is particularly praised for its powerful driving sound that perfectly captures the intensity of the game. Other tracks like Aquarius and Prayer showcase a masterful blend of classical, baroque, and rock influences. While Beginning, Aquarius, and Prayer are the most famous tracks from the Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse soundtrack, the game's music is a masterclass in 8-bit composition, and several other songs are highly regarded by fans. Some of the other classics from the game's score include songs like Mad Forest. So Mad Forest is a tense and eerie track that plays during the Spooky Forest stage. It's known for its rapid, arpeggiated melody that creates a sense of frantic movement and unease, perfectly capturing the feeling of being pursued by monstrous enemies in a dark, supernatural woods. Clockwork is another one, a fan favorite. This piece has a very distinct, almost mechanical rhythm that mimics the sounds of gears turning. It is used in the clock tower stage and has a sophisticated Baroque feel. This track, in particular, showcases the added channels of the VRC6 chip on the Japanese Famicom version, which gives it a much richer and more layered sound. Demon Seed is another track from Castlevania 3 that should be mentioned. This is the theme, Demon Seed, that plays in the final castle stages leading up to the confrontation with Dracula. It's a dark and intense track that builds on the sense of urgency and dread, pushing the player to the final showdown. Boss Fight, a powerful and dramatic track that signals a major encounter. It has a heavy, driving beat and a soaring melody that gives a sense of epic scale to the boss battles. That's the boss fight song. And then the prelude, the song Prelude from Castlevania 3. This is a short, atmospheric piece, and it plays during the game's opening sequence. It sets a perfect somber and foreboding tone for the adventure, building a sense of mystery before the game even actually begins.